Hello and welcome to a very special episode of KT One-on-One with Abhishek Sengupta. Today we are in conversation with someone who represents the very young, ambitious and the bright face of the UAE cabinet. We are in conversation with none other than Dr. Thani Al Zeyoudi. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for talking to us. You are a Minister of State for Foreign Trade and also a Minister in charge of talent attraction and retention with the Ministry of Economy. Now, if we want to begin, first thing, it's a very wordy one line that you have as a role. Can you expand how busy you're going to be, especially in a year that is soon set to host the Dubai Expo 2020, the greatest show on earth?
First of all, thank you, Abhi, for hosting me. It's really a pleasure and honor to be here. Moving away from and moving out from the pandemic is going to be the main drive for our work from now until we start the expo later this year. The whole world is facing the crisis and the consequences of the pandemic, and we've been working very hard in exploring what we can do to ensure we come out from this pandemic much quicker. We ensure the recovery is quicker. Yeah. As His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Rashid said, the UAE is going to come out from this pandemic quicker than any other states around the world. What we can do to disturb the moving forward when it comes to economy, and what are the added value which we can bring on board into the sector. I'm sure you saw some of the laws which has been announced by the cabinet lately, talking about the personal laws to attract more people to the country, facilitate their stay here in the country, the residencies which has been announced to certain specialties within the country, as well as the commercial law which is going to attract more foreign investments to the country. We're looking forward to explore more markets, open new doors with our international partners. One of the main challenges which faced most of the world is supply chain.
Yeah, in fact, I was glad that you mentioned other sectors. I mean, as the Minister of State for Foreign Trade, I think you're the best person equipped to answer. A lot of us keep hearing a diversified economy, reliance on non-oil sectors. But UAE is still largely an oil-based economy. How much of myth versus reality is it, and where are we headed to?
Throughout the last 5 decades, we managed to transform the dependence on the resources, oil and gas, to become a more diversified economy. And lately we reached the innovation-based economy. And if we look at the numbers now, we're talking only about 30% dependence from the oil and gas sector on our total GDP. Is the oil and gas going to be an integral part of our economy? For sure. And this is where we're diversifying, even selling the raw material toward investments in downstream and petrochemical sectors. But at the same time, we're going to look at those new sectors. Here we're talking about science, which is going to be a game changer. Agriculture and agribusiness is dominating the whole discussion wherever we go now, especially when it comes to supply chain and ensuring the products are available to the populations and communities around the world. The logistics is going to have a major transformation, especially when it comes to injecting these new latest technologies, the robotics, the fourth industrial revolutions, AI technologies into the whole logistics as well as supply chain. So those quickly, some of the sectors which are going to focus on, for sure, the e-commerce. We have a dedicated minister who's looking at that now. So we're expecting a huge growth on that aspect. Health sector and education are going to be transformed. We saw the transformation during the lockdown, the pandemic, but for sure, moving forward, it's going to have a major transformation, not only here in the UAE, but also around the world.
Sure, it's very interesting that you mentioned the word transformation. In fact, we've just witnessed history. I mean, talking about the month of September, the historic Abraham Accords were signed, and Israel is now very much, Israel and UAE are now open to doing business. Talking about transformation, how important is that new tie going to be?
The Abraham Treaty is going to have a huge positive impact in the whole region. We're not talking about one of the two largest economies in the region, but also we're seeing the added value to the whole region, especially the Palestinian, who are going to have for sure a direct or indirect value from this relation, from economic, business opportunities, as well as social aspects. And for sure, we're not moving away from our political commitments toward the Palestinians. We're expecting that we're going to benefit a lot from some of the technologies, the expertise, the science which they are advancing. At the same time, they're going to benefit a lot from the expertise that we built throughout the last 50 years in many sectors, especially logistics, the supply chain, the infrastructure, and even the investments which we put in our people. And I really hope that the economic agreements and the Abraham Treaty is going to bring the peace not only to the region but also to the whole world. It's a signal that those such agreements can really lead toward more prosperous world that we all aim for.
And it's interesting. I mean, on top of that, just last week we had the historic reopening of ties again with Qatar, and that is also going to shape the dynamics of the region, because you've just mentioned the wider region, and you can't have it better with the Al Ula declaration on the 5th of January.
It's a new page which we're opening, and we're looking at the benefits of the whole region. So Al Ula declaration and the Abraham Treaty, they're all adding toward having more stable region, and this is what we all aim for. Stable region means growth in our economies, more secure communities, our people, and at the same time futuristic sectors and a plan for our generation.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for talking to us. You've answered pretty much all the questions I had your way, and let's hope for a better year. So thank you for joining us this time.